This reservoir is gonna hold 1,600 gallons of water. I mean, come on. I don't know what that's all about right there. I don't see a reservoir going in.
I'm envisioning it.
There's nothing to envision. It's Aquablocks hole. Hey everybody, it's Jack from Atlantis Water Gardens. Today we're in Maplewood, New Jersey, and we've got a really interesting, kind of different pondless waterfall we're gonna be building today. This historic house has undergone a complete gut and renovation, and it's got a lot of these classic hard lines that are outlining most of the outdoor landscape. We've got the staircase, which is very dimensional like this. We've got some big planter boxes there, and they're going to be mimicking some of that. Off the backside here, where there'll be a patio, set of stairs going down, another planter box kind of making its way down. Some artistic pieces that'll be going in the garden. Got a greenhouse back there. So a wide open palette for what we're going to be doing here today. We want to play off the lines in the house, and how we're going to do that is by using the architectural stacked slate walls from Aquascape. We've got the straight ones, which is what all of these boxes are. We're using a total of 10 walls here, along with some square patio bowls, making it a bit formal up at the front here. We're going to have those stacked slate walls arranged so that they're going back into a cove. We're going to incorporate some of those square bowls, actually cut right into the tops of them. Have some cool ribbon waterfalls falling in on that cove area, as well as water spilling out of the walls. And then off to the left next to the stairs, we'll use more of the stacked slate walls as a planting area, kind of bringing it out from here, then turning it into more of a natural stream, using our typical boulders, making its way down to the bottom of the staircase where the waterfall and reservoir will culminate. I've had an idea like this in my head for quite some time, just never the palette to do it. Now we got a shot to make this happen. It's going to be interesting to see how the two styles jive and meld together. I've got a pretty good feel for how we're going to do that with bringing the boulder work in close to the walls and then transferring from that really clean outline of all the hard edges into the more flowing natural style of the stream. First thing we're going to do is we're going to mock up these walls. We've got a nice big reservoir going in here that's going to be feeding this. So we'll get those two things started, and I'll check back with you in a little bit. Starting to get the excavation for our reservoir shaped up. This reservoir is going to hold 1,600 gallons of water. They want this to be a sustainable feature. So during normal rainfalls during the season, it should top this thing off to the point where you really don't have to stick a garden hose in it. Bowley has been hard at work building our retaining wall for the backside of our fountainscape, and we're ending it here on this boulder. This way we can transition from that formal into the more natural over on the left side here. He's cutting every block to make it fit nice and perfect up against this rock, as well as the existing planter on the other end. While he works on that, we're going to get started on the excavation for the footing that's going to support this whole fountainscape structure. Once we dig our trough, we're actually going to we're going to sand it, and then we're going to put fabric and liner in, because the whole thing is going to be inside liner. Then we can go ahead and pour concrete in this whole section here that the walls will sit on. We want a nice stable base, and then inside the walls themselves, being that they are hollow, we're going to fill them completely with gravel. That's going to create ballast. And what Anthony's going to be working on as well is actually bolting all these together. We've got these aluminum strips. Every single wall section is going to get drilled and bolted together with stainless steel hardware, making it all one whole structure. We'll do that with every single piece that's here. We want this thing nice and solid. Then once that's complete and it gets set on top of the concrete footing, we'll actually drill into the back to put our plumbing in. We're going to be feeding multiple bubbling fountains coming out the top here, as well as the bowls that will get cut in to the different sections of wall. At the same time, Anthony's actually building all the aqua blocks. We've got 50 of those large blocks. Each block holds a volume of 32 gallons of water once it's encapsulated in liner. We've got 50 of those things going in there, which is going to give us our 1,600 gallons of water storage. Let's get the excavation done for our wall footing. Meanwhile, Colby will get this thing straightened out. The soil here is really pretty bad, so we're gonna sand the whole bottom of it and the sides to make sure there's no problems with our liner. And if you guys have seen any of the stuff we've done before, we're using concrete cloth here as well. Concrete cloth is gonna prevent any rodent damage. There are chipmunks and stuff around here. They love to chew liner, and we're gonna make sure they can't do that. We spent the last 2 days getting a lot of infrastructure work done. Anthony's been busy doing a lot of the fabricating work on our walls, getting all supports in there, tying them all together with our stainless steel and aluminum hardware. So this is all ready to go. Yesterday, we got the footing in for where those walls are gonna sit. We're gonna strip those forms this morning and set those walls where they belong. While that happens, I wanna come over here and get the reservoir area ready to go. We've got to finish getting this excavated, probably another 18 inches that way. Then we're gonna lay a base of stone dust across the whole bottom just to protect that, do some good compaction, and then we have to dig the area where our pondless vault is gonna go for our pumps. Once that happens, we'll test fit all of our aqua blocks, get the fabric in there, or the liner, and then another layer of fabric on top before we install the entire reservoir. It's getting a little tight on the backside getting the machine up here, so once that's backfilled, that's gonna give us a little more room to work, because up here, once those walls are set, we have to frame this right side out with some large boulders coming off the retaining wall in the back and then coming off the actual stack slate walls on the front. We're making a small island here that's going to get planted. Once that's done, all the plumbing work starts in those walls. And that's where it gets super time consuming with this fountainscape stuff. We're going to be feeding water to about 15 different places in this whole fountainscape. So there's going to be a lot of fabricating and cutting of plumbing to make that happen, making sure we get our flow rates exactly where they need to be, so the end result is a beautiful looking fountainscape. Stack slate walls are solid. They're not going anywhere. Colby, come here.
All right, AWG Rockstars, let's confuse those who didn't make it this far in the video and comment that chimpanzee test is the real proof.
That's good enough for me. So seriously, so Anthony got these all bolted together with our batten strips, our stainless steel hardware. We have filled these up with over 1.5 tons of pea gravel already, and we're gonna put about another ton in there. So there's gonna be a lot of material sitting inside these walls. It looks great. The whole structure is solid right down to the concrete base. It matched up perfectly against the existing patio. You can't fit a piece of paper in there. It's so tight, awesome. This step actually runs right into the face, exactly where I wanted it. But here's the real test. That concrete base had to be right on the money in order for the top piece to slide right underneath this cap. Hoo-hoo-hoo! I mean, come on. It's right there. Right there. After we get this all filled up, Anthony's gonna get to work on the backside, finishing up our block retaining wall. That liner gets folded up. We've got another 3 courses to put in back here. Then we gotta do our backfilling. So we're gonna be backfilling behind our liner with clean stone, so we got drainage for our wall. And then as we get to the top, we're actually gonna fold the liner back and do a soil pocket about a foot deep, because there's going to be a whole ton of plants all following the contour of these walls. This pocket back here, we're going to fill it with stone, put down some fabric, and then soil it up so we can get a landscape bed inside here. It'll be mirrored the same thing on this right side. As we're doing that, we've got to get our plumbing in. We're going to come up the back of this with our 3-inch plumbing right about here. We're going to go vertical stack, turn it, and then we're going to be punching into the back of all these walls to feed the bubbling portions of the wall itself. And then we've got plumbing to deal with for the bowls that are going to sit on top of this. We got one in this corner, one right in the center, and then we've got one on the opposite corner. But for today, if we can get the rest of this gravel in and get that wall installed on the backside, I'll feel pretty good at where we're at for the end of day 3. And I want to see this 1,500-gallon reservoir done today. But I don't know what that's all about right there. I don't see a reservoir going in.
I'm envisioning it.
There's nothing to envision. It's Aquablock's hole.
I'm getting there.
You have to come back for part 2, because we are going to be rocking up here, getting this whole top section done before we can make our way down to the main waterfalls in the reservoir. Hit that subscribe button. Come on back. We're here every week building Come on back. We're here every week building beautiful water features and showing you how we do them. Come on back. We're here every week. Jeez. You would think after all this time I wouldn't be messing this up. See you on the next one.